Where are you from?
I'm originally from Rwanda,
Okay.
which is in the middle of Africa.
And what was your life like there? When were you born?
1976. So I just turned on Friday, October 2nd, I turned 39.
Oh, happy birthday. And you're a
Thank you.
Libra.
Yes.
Yes. Do you identify with being a Libra? Is that...
I am
do
not
you-
sure what it means to be a Libra,
Yeah.
but I realized that I have a lot of friends
Yeah.
who are the same, like who are Libras, and when we became friends, I didn't know they were Libras. Then I found out like they are also Libras.
And they connect to you.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, tell me about what your childhood life was like.
I had a happy childhood. I come from a family of three, with my mom and my dad. We always shared breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And growing up, my job was to go to school and get good grades. So, I can say that's how my childhood was.
How many years were you in school?
I have a bachelor's in business administration. So when I left my country, I was in the middle of high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where is your bachelor's degree from?
from Namibia, from the University of Namibia.
What did you want to be when you grew up? When you were a child, like when you imagined what your life would be like when you grew up?
When I was in Rwanda, they put a lot of emphasis on science. So I was more like my parents. They drilled us on science, like so you had to be very good in physics and maths and chemistry, and we always had a medical school, and you, as long as you could do school, then you could go to university and study what you want. So I wanted to do medicine. So when I was a kid, whenever there's somebody with a saw in the house or a board to press, they will call Louise. So I was always the one pressing the saws and dressing the saws from a young age. But then I moved to Namibia, and I finished high school. Then when I finished high school, I realized that they didn't even have a medical school because it was kind of a new country. Namibia got independence in '94,
Oh,
so
very
it
new.
was a new country.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? If I can't do, the only way to go to university was to go to South Africa, which was gonna be expensive, and I also didn't have the level of English, because I went to a school where English was the first language, but English was actually my third language.
Wow.
So
What are the
I was
languages?
always behind
Yeah.
with my English. Rwandan people speak Kinyarwanda, so everybody in Rwanda speaks Kinyarwanda, and then in school we will learn French, and then in Namibia I learned English and Portuguese, but Portuguese was the language that I learned by choice. Other languages, I had to do them. I had no matter in choosing whether I want to speak them or not. I had to learn them. But for Portuguese, I chose to learn Portuguese.
Are you fluent in Portuguese?
I think so.
Wow, amazing. 4. That's very...
Yeah, I can read and write 4, but I understand 7.
Which are the other 3?
We have Swahili, which is
Yeah.
like an East African language, but I never studied it formally in school. So I usually say I don't speak Swahili, but I know
But
if you take
yeah.
me to the market, I will know what's going on, because mostly we test the language when you go to the market. Like you can buy your bananas, you can bargain.
Right.
Yeah. Then when I came here, I took Spanish beginners, but it's very close to Portuguese.
I know. Yeah.
So I realized that the more Spanish I learn, the more Portuguese goes away.
Yeah.
So I decided that I have to choose. If I really want to be fluent in Spanish, then I'll have to kind of give away a little bit of Portuguese because it's too close. So I always say I can understand Spanish, like 80% when people speak.
If you...
I know what they are speaking. When I answer, it will be like Portuguese Spanish because
But they understand that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can get to understand. And then Rwanda and Burundi is a neighbor. So Burundis, they speak Kirundi, but Kirundi and Kinyarwanda is also similar.
Oh.
To the point where a person who speaks Kirundi will say they speak Kinyarwanda, and the one who speaks Kinyarwanda will say they speak Kirundi. But for me, I always say I understand because I didn't formally learn it in school also. So if I speak Kirundi, it's not like I'm speaking Kirundi, it's just that it's too close. So I understand Kirundi. If a person maybe speak Kirundi and they are stuck and they don't know it, they don't have a translator, I could easily help them to transfer the message that they want to transfer in
It's just
English
that
or
close.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I've lived around people who spoke it, so you know that like they call flower this and we call flower that, or they, and if it's a story, mostly you know.
Yeah.
Only if it's word by word, some words will be different. But if it's a story people are talking,
general,
you will
yeah.
know what is the story about.
Wow, language is so fascinating that way that things can connect.
Then in school in Namibia, we had to have a second language. So my second language had to be German. So in all the 7 I'm talking about, I am not mentioning German because it was just like touching German for 1 year.
Yeah.
And I was learning German and English at the same time. And my German teacher was explaining things in English which I don't know.
Which you didn't know at
So
that time.
after,
Frustrating.
but because we were trained to memorize, in Rwanda there was a system you know how to memorize. Like we had to think, but you also had to memorize.
Yeah.
So if the teacher give you this, they will tell you, give me back my notes. And you can write it even with a comma, like you could produce everything they gave you. Now, being trained to memorize, I could memorize German, even though I don't know what it means. So when
Right,
it's
just the sounds, right? Yeah.
like when they give you, you memorize it in the language you know.
Right.
So when I will write it down, and then they will give us like a test, and it's like to fill up missing words. So I will memorize the whole thing, and then I will just look which one is missing. So then I will do it well. And my teacher will think I know, and then I'm trying to explain, I don't know. I just memorize until I got a 0 in, they call it dictation.
You
Like
proved that you didn't
I
know.
don't know. So then I got
Yeah.
a good 0, and then she believed because there was nothing. Like, if you don't know the language, and then you can't listen, and what am I listening? And that's one mistake I realized, that I shouldn't have listened to what she was saying, because I didn't know. I should have just written every German word that I knew how to write. I was not going to get a 0. I'm sure she was gonna find some of the things she said in the things that I wrote. But I tried to listen. But how can you listen when you don't know the language? So I've learned now, I don't try to listen when I don't know the language. I just try to read the map, figure out what is this person talking about.
So, when you were in college, or if you had finished high school and you were beginning college, you had decided that you were no longer interested in medicine?
No, it wasn't like I wasn't no longer interested. There was
Just no opportunity.
faculty. So I just decided that if I can't study what I want, then I should study what I've never studied. And that was business. So I've never done accounting. Like I didn't know nothing about debit and credit. So I went to college, and that was my first time to study business, like accounting and economics. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something new that I've never done. So and that's how I ended in business, and I've made the best of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah. So, what was your next step after college?
After college, I wanted to study further, but it was a little bit expensive. So I told myself that if I can't study further, then I have to do small courses that I can afford to do. So I did like, I studied how to do nails, and I will do nails on the side when I want to do. I studied how to do, I went to Thailand and I did a course in traditional Thai massage, like aroma oil. I did small courses of how to do cakes, how to decorate wedding cake, how to do flower arrangement. So anything small that I could afford to pay, I made sure that every year I would get a certificate.
Perfect.
So I used to study like small things. Every year I would have a certificate of something every year. So anything that I could learn, that I could afford to learn, I did it.
So when did you leave Africa?
Let's see. I became a resident of the U.S. in 2007, but I didn't stay here full time. By this time, I will be gone. And then I'll come back around May, like April, May.
Yeah.
So for almost 4 years, I spend a couple of months here and then I go back. And I spend a couple of months here and then I go back. So 2011, I can say that's when I became a full-time Buffalonian.
And before that, when did you start coming to Buffalo?
I started coming to Buffalo. My first time in Buffalo was 2006.
What brought you here?
My husband.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met him and he lived here. And then that's how I landed in Buffalo.
So he was visiting and you met him?
No, we knew, he's also from Rwanda, so we knew each other from home. But he went to school in Belgium. And in 99, he won a green card because I think every year a certain amount of people win. They do a lottery and then they win to come to the U.S. So he was like, if so many millions of people applied and I happened to be one of them, maybe then I should come. And he already had a sister who lived here, so it was easy for him to just say, okay, I'm coming to Buffalo, my sister is here. And yeah, so that's how he came here. So he's been here for 16 years.
Wow. And so you said 2007.
That's when I became a resident. But
almost 15?
2000, it's 8 years that I'm here, I'm a resident. Right. Yeah, and then 2 years that I'm a U.S. citizen.
Wonderful. And how long have you had this shop?
3 years, since 2012.
How has it been? What is Grant Street like?
Yeah, when I came, it was not, since I opened, I think there is at least 10 plus stores that have opened. Yeah.
In the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can say some have opened and left and new ones came, but I've seen at least 10 plus businesses that has opened on Grand Street since I came. Wow. For example, since I came, there was no Gypsy Parlor.
Right.
It wasn't there, and there is a coffee place next to it.
Public?
Yeah, that was not there. And then there is like a hair beauty supply on the end of Delavan and Grand Street. It wasn't there. Across there is like 2 or 3 stores that were not there before. We have a barbecue place here.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't there. The juice bar that used to be next to it, it wasn't there. IT Garden was not there. So even going to Bazaar was here.
Right.
At 242, now it's there at 25. So there have been a lot of changes. Yeah.
Do you interact with the other shop owners?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like, I mean, not just even from, like Vinita, the Indian grocery store. It also wasn't there. So I go there, I buy stuff. Across there's a Burmese store. I like my papaya salad. Because I've had, for the past 11 years, I've been exposed to Thailand and I've been going there. So I love some of the Thai food. So I go there, and now they have another store in Black Rock and a restaurant too. Yeah. So there's a lot. There's like a lot happening. Yeah, and then like down there also, I know a couple of people next to New to You. So I can say from 25 Grand Street up to end, like, I know a lot of different businesses.
Down to the down to the houses before Tops. You know pretty much everyone.
Yeah, like coming. Yeah, even at the end, actually up to where Lucy is.
Oh yeah.
Down before you go to, there's a bank. What is this? Bank of America. just somewhere. There's also a store that I sometimes buy the fish or whatever. So I know many of those.
You have a good map of
Yeah.
people to talk to. Yeah.
Yeah. From different countries.
Yeah. How about the people in the community who come into your shop? Are there regular people that you
Yes.
see every day or regularly
I
every
have
week?
people in the community, and I have a lady like my neighbor across the street. When I first came, she was always there, and she used to cook for me. She would make like stew, and she would bring to me. And then because we can't communicate, like it's mostly like signs we show each other. So then she would tell me like I have to eat so I can grow. And then I told him, I said grow, like being big is not, I'm like, so I showed her that I like to eat fruits. And she brings me fruits. So at least once a week. It's been a while, like 3 years since I've been here. Mostly once a week, she will bring fruits. If she doesn't see me, she will put it by the door.
That's so nice.
And then if I travel and she doesn't see me, when she sees me, I can see like, if she sees me maybe going to the car, she will come or I'll go there, like she will be so happy. So if I have something also, I take to her, if it's something to wear or something to eat different. So, and it has been that relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
With just sign communication.
She will come, like maybe she went to the doctor and the doctor did something, and then she will come and show me, who is Dr. True? Like Dr. Katia or Dr. Like we will figure out.
Yeah.
But we do figure out how to talk. We have a way we communicate.
That's pretty amazing. So why did you decide to have a store like this here?
When I came to the US, I was like, first I started in incubator. So I was incubated for 1 year. But in the West Side Bazaar.
At the bazaar, yeah.
But they were not here. We used
They
to
were
be
done.
at 242 Grand Street. So I stayed there for 1 year. I had like 8x6 booth. After 1 year, I felt comfortable that I could run my own store. And I opened this one.
The store that you had, and maybe it was that your own store? Were you ordering clothes there too and picking and purchasing?
No, that's how I used to go to Thailand, because Thailand, there's factories, people can make for you what you want. You are choosing among a lot of things. So,
Yeah.
and so I'm not used to sitting and ordering. I want to feel,
Yeah.
and I want to talk to the person. I want to see
Absolutely.
the person I'm buying from, you know.
Yeah. Do you go to trade
So-
shows sometimes? Have you been to like those big, no,
No.
they're not good. It's a waste.
No, I don't know if they are not good or not, but I'm not a person who's buying. I don't buy even 12 things that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, because a small business here a definition is broad. If you have 50 employees, or you have one, or you still small, but I can say I'm micro, so I can't afford to have this shelf and it's all the same stuff, right? So in order for me to get, there are people I buy from when they have the big supplier maybe wants stuff. Like from Namibia, they do a lot of expo in Germany or Italy. So if they have a big order for that, then I have to wait a bit,
Right.
you know. But I understand. But at least if I want 3 things or 4 or 5, they will give me. Of
Yeah.
course, they will give you maybe, you don't dictate the price because you are small, you are not buying a lot. So you take the price they give you. If somebody is buying 10,000 pieces,
I know. Crazy.
they will tell them maybe I'll give you $1, but they will be getting 10,000. So if you are buying even 12 pieces, even if you give them $6, that's 72. It's not like they don't, it's almost not significant. So some people will take it only when the business is quiet. So you need to know when business is quiet, and that's the time you go and deal with some of the vendors. Because when business is busy,
You're not the priority.
no.
For them. Do you work with any of the other business owners? Do you have any collaborative projects? helped anyone else out with their weddings on the street?
No, the people I've helped live on the west side, but not necessarily on the same street. No, if like with our neighbors, the way we are, if a neighbor needs this or whatever, you can go and ask. Even if I didn't bring my water or they didn't bring their water or whatever, I can go and say, oh, Aunt, can I have some water? Or I can ask my next door neighbor, can I have this? Or can you please help me with this? So we live like a family. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, really. Like you can always knock and you know that you get what you're asking.
Do you think that all of the new businesses are a positive thing? That it's good that the street is filling up with new shops?
It's good to have a place that is occupied and being empty because it shows there is life. I mean, if it's like empty places, it shows like no life. So the more the places are filled, not only even business, abandoned houses are not a good sign, especially like where you have a main road, everybody's passing, they see like, I mean, it's a bit strange to see a building that's closer to a street, like where there should be activities, and then it says like wooden window closed and like nothing is happening.
Right.
That's not a good sign.
Like a missed opportunity or something to
it's not a
be
good
happening.
sign. Yeah.
Your face is on the side of this building. When did that happen?
That happened in 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Why?
It was I think it's called Buffalo First. It's an organization, Buffalo First. So they were promoting businesses. So, and then they put actually also Prish, the owner, she's also there.
On the door.
Yeah. So they told me they were doing a mirror, but I've never heard of that word before. Actually, I never heard of that word before. So I just thought, we are doing a mirror and we need a picture to do a mirror. I was like, okay. And then one day they called me, Louise, come and see. I was like, what? Like, I was in a shock. I was like, oh my goodness. And they told, and then I was like, how long would that stay? They said, yeah, a couple of months it will stay. Yeah, but it stayed longer than a couple of months. But I was shy about it, but people didn't see it, so it was good. Like for the first year, I didn't hear like, are you the one on the building? But then summer came, and then people would be like, are you the one on building? It's like, Louise, you have a guts. How do you get that allow yourself to have a big picture there on the building? And then I'm just quiet. Then one day I met a person who had this huge camera, and they are like really taking pictures and going across the street, and they are taking a picture and taking picture. So I told him, I said, oh, you're really taking the picture? He's like, yeah. I said, now why you take the picture of that and I'm here? Like, I'm like, that's the picture, but the person is in front of you. And he was laughing. He was like, is it for real? I said, yeah, just look at the picture. So if you really want the picture, then you can take the person is here. But I was like playing, and we became good friends. So from the picture, I've had business that came from the picture. People told me, yeah, we stopped here, but we went to the cafe. And then we are like, no, but we are not seeing. And then we came around. So there are people who've come because they saw the picture. So
wow,
I think it worked.
Yeah, that's not bad. Why do you think those pictures were chosen? Like, what's the point of the Buffalo First murals? Just
it's to market. They've been doing a lot to help the neighborhood, like just to market the place, like because after I saw the picture, that's when I started paying attention about mirrors. So I saw like on the Grand Street down there, there's a nice one also by the swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
Which I just used to think it's just painted there or whatever. And then Buff State also did one here by the meeting place.
Yes, Augustina Dross, I think.
So there's one there also.
Yeah.
So it gives life. Like it can make, we have a light here, a stop light. So people, when they stop, they can look around.
notice that,
Yeah.
that buildings are occupied, that there are people. Yeah.
Yeah, there's life, because the people is a sign of life. There's no people, there's no life. Yeah.
That's true.
Are there, is this neighborhood challenging at all? Do you ever have any problems or challenges? I know they have problems over at IT Garden.
It's, how can I say, for me, it's a little bit different because I have nothing to compare to. Like, it's not like I've spent, let's say if I open a business in another neighborhood, then I will be able to compare that, oh, here is tough or is not tough. So the first business I ever had in the US is on this street, you see. So, and it's hard for me to say if it's challenging or not because I think it takes you to have lived in another place because mostly we compare to something, no? Like if you say something is challenging, it's because we're comparing it to what was not challenging. But then if I have nothing to compare it to, it's hard for me to judge that it's challenging or not, because most places people get stuff stolen. I mean, even in the mall, like you see.
Maybe more in the mall. Yeah.
Yeah, you see people like a couple of weeks ago, we went to the mall and then we just had screams. It was at the jewelry shop, like those luxury jewelry shop. And it was a young girl running with the jewelry. Like, how you think like that? Like,
where do you think you're going? Yeah, you're in a
somebody will
building.
even, like, those things are cased and lights and everything. Who will even think that somebody will, like, run with, you know?
Yeah.
So, I've had stealing in many places. So there is those big crime and petty crime and all in between, but it's hard for me to say. I've had it in my store, but I've had somebody stole from me. They took some wallets there, and I noticed that they are gone, and I followed them. I just followed him. He was gone, like passed by the cafe, but he had friends on the curb, and I think they told him that I'm following him. So he came back. So when he came back, I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, I wasn't thinking that he can hurt me. It didn't go in my head that he would do something bad to me. So I let him come back. And he comes back to the store. So, but I told him, I said, you stole from me. And then he's trying to say, no. But he comes in. So I told him, look, I'm on the phone. I'm calling the police. And I have a camera that has picked you up. So, but if you give my stuff back, we have no problem. And he put the stuff back, but he was putting it hiding. And then he told me, he says, no, your wallets are there. I said, no, you put them there. And then he said, no. I said, okay, now if you don't, you have to acknowledge you stole from me and you say sorry. Then I will not call. I will not call police for you. So he says, yeah, I stole from you and I'm sorry. I say, okay. I say, is this the only thing you stole from me? He said, yes. I said, okay. I forgive you, but never ever come here. Don't even look here when you pass. Don't come back to my place. And he left. It's been like 2 years. I haven't seen him. I moved the wallet away there. So now if I'm sitting here and I look like, and I don't feel comfortable, I can just say I'm closed. And sometimes they will tell me, oh, but it's open. I'm like, no, it's just closed now. And then we are fine. So it's like, so those small, like, I really don't get people wondering. Like this morning, I haven't seen this for so many years since I've been here. Like, I don't get people just coming wondering.
Oh, interesting. People come to shop.
Yeah, even if they are not, because for me, I allow, like, the kids can come if they are curious and they are respectable. I will not allow you to come here with your pants, like, down. I will not accept. Like, that one, I'm strong on it. And I can say I don't even care how people will take it. That one, I am very firm. Like, you cannot come here not dressed. like, and then I will not, it's not what I accept. So there is some rules, like you can't, I tell you, put your pants up. I tell them, I tell you, dress nice, dress properly. You are even wearing a belt. Why you don't put it up here? So, and now a lot of young boys, they know.
They went before they come into the store.
They will remove. And sometimes I will say, you put your pants up. I'm like, look at your friend. Look how your friend looks. And then they're like, yeah, he was also like that. But when he got here, he pulled it up. I say, yeah, he pulled it up because he knows auntie here don't like those things. Over here, so far I can say, so far it's okay, you know. So far it's fine. Like I used to have kids hitting my sign, but they will hit the sign on purpose because I could see that they are checking if I'm looking, and then they will hit it. And then one of my neighbor one day, Mr. Paul, caught one of the kid and they like made the kid not to do it again. So I haven't seen that happening. Oh. Yeah, so sometimes they will take, the young kids can, some kids can take advantage. I even thought, I was like, I think they are doing it because I'm a woman. I did think like those boys are doing it because I'm a woman. Because I was like, if they see like a big man standing in here, they will not do it. They will not touch. They will not touch the side. But then they see me, they because they know I will not run after them, maybe, or things like that.
They want to tease you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice that you have people looking out to stop that from happening.
Yeah. So there was a little bit, and the kid will come and maybe they are like not dressed, the shirt is out, the friend is carrying it. I'm like, yeah, if you want to look, I allow you to look. But put your shirt back on and come nice like a kid who's curious. I can tell you there's a lot of history. I can teach you what is this and how it's made. But if you come like this, you are not coming. You are not coming, yeah.
It's a good thing
Yeah,
pulled my pants up.
Glad you put your shirt on.
No, some is very disrespectful, so I usually don't. Because I also want people who are in here to be comfortable and everybody to be happy and comfortable. So,